Partnered by Time's Influence.
The best keeps leading. The best keeps leading means we never stop challenging ourselves.
Mercedes-Benz India, the leading German luxury car makers, staying true to their motto, "The best keeps leading," initiated a dialogue on leadership in the age of disruption at the Auto Expo 2018 with leaders in conversation. For years, India's largest motor show, the Auto Expo, has brought forth some of the best designs and models of automobiles for auto enthusiasts on a common platform. This year, Mercedes-Benz India took center stage at the Auto Expo 2018 to showcase and launch 3 of its new car models.
2017 has truly been a fantastic year, as you all know. Despite some of the challenges, we came out as a winning brand just once again. And this year, we intend to keep the momentum going. As always, we have our annual theme, which underlines what Mercedes-Benz believes in: simply leading. In 2018, our motto is "The best keeps leading." The best keeps leading means we never stop challenging ourselves. We will continue working on a sustainable future for mobility that is safer, smarter, as well as greener. And in doing so, we always have an absolute focus on our customers' needs as well as their wishes. Mercedes-Benz leads the local luxury market, and we are the first luxury automaker to cross the mark of 15,000 units sold within 1 year in 2017. Thank you. And today, we have a product here for you that truly underlines our aspiration to lead. This model will spearhead our product offensive for 2018. It is the Mercedes-Benz Maybach S650. The car represents simply the pinnacle of luxury. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Mercedes Maybach S650. And yes, this car's exterior is just as striking and beautiful. With its body lengthened by 8 inches compared to the standard S-Class, a new front apron ringed in chrome and taillights features in a stardust effect, the Mercedes Maybach S650 is a car for true leaders. Accordingly, it also receives the best treatment under the hood. Its hand-built V12 engine produces 630 horsepower and up to 1,000 Newton meters of torque, allowing for sports car-like acceleration. A 7G Tronic plus 7-speed automatic transfers the power to the rear wheels. The Mercedes Maybach S-Class will be available both as S650 and the V8-powered S560. The S560, which I'm happy to confirm will also be built here in India, will debut Mercedes-Benz's first ever Bharat Stage 6 certified petrol engine in this country. Furthermost, this car has the most exclusive interior ever. It's a mobile office, or better yet, a luxury lounge that keeps you pampered in the finest selection of wood, leather, other ultra-high quality refitments. Thanks to its extra long wheelbase, rear seat passengers can fully stretch out on leather reclining seats that can even provide you with a hot stone massage. You will also find a top-of-the-line Burmester audio system, climate controls for each seat, and a Maybach exclusive fragrance that works through our ventilation system. What's more, our new Maybach comes with the quietest rear cabin in the world. This is what you get when handcrafted elegance and beauty are mated with class-leading technology. And the new Mercedes Maybach S650 with a plethora of customizable options under our Design program. This is also the first time we will offer our customers additional driver assistant features for enhanced safety. Active distance, assist distronic, active steering assist, active brake assist, and active blind spot assist will be available for the first time on all of these models. So the Mercedes Maybach S650 will be priced at rupees 2.73 crores onwards, while the S560 is priced at 1.94 crore rupees. Ladies and gentlemen, our Mercedes Maybach S-Class perfectly shows what we mean by our motto for 2018, the best keeps leading. And of course, we also want to lead the way into the future. Let's hear more about this from our board member responsible for marketing and sales, Britta Seeger.
Thank you very much, Roland. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to join you here in New Delhi. For me, nothing is more important as being close to our customers. That's why I was really looking forward to be here and get new insights into the needs, likes, and comments of our ever-growing Mercedes owner in India. As you can see, there are many good reasons to drive a Mercedes, and here's another perfect model for India. Our Mercedes-Benz EClass Ultra. With significantly over 13 million E-Class sedans and estates delivered to customers, the E-Class is the all-time bestseller in our portfolio. And the Ultra is the most versatile E-Class ever made. It combines intelligence of the sedan with the space concept and toughness of an SUV. Let's have a first look. I'm sure this amazing car will find many fans here in India. And here it is, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class Ultra. EQ stands for electric intelligence, and that means we plan to develop electrification that is perfectly matched with a wide range of customer needs. And you won't have to wait too long for the first EQ series version. We will present it before the end of this year. With that, I'd like to ask Roland and Matthias join me on stage for the reveal of the concept EQ. Thank you very much to everyone for staying and joining us today. Thank you.
I think everybody will, the closer we come to the specific.
On the other side, Leaders in Conversation presented by Mercedes-Benz India sheds light on the impact of disruption on leadership.
What leadership means to you in today's age of disruption and chaos?
Well, I think you can even make it fairly simple or very complicated. Let me try the fairly simple approach first. I think leadership means that you have a clear understanding of your role and your position within the marketplace. You are aware of what it is that your offerings differentiate yourselves and how much they interact and how much they relate to what your customers expect from you.
Brand leading the Indian luxury car market for 3 consecutive years, Mercedes-Benz India has set a benchmark for all automakers in customer satisfaction and also in leadership. With the backdrop of the Auto Expo 2018, Leaders in Conversation, presented by Mercedes-Benz India, brings forth a forum engaging thought leaders and industry experts in a dialogue on the impact of disruption on leadership and its role in shaping businesses across sectors.
There is successful change.
To set things in motion, Times Network's Sonali Krishna speaks with Mercedes-Benz India's MD and CEO Roland Folger to deliberate on the future of mobility.
New area, so to speak. Let me start with congratulating you, as you know, Mercedes-Benz India has continued to dominate in the luxury car segment for now 3 consecutive years. I want to start by asking you what leadership means to you in today's age of disruption and chaos.
Well, I think you can even make it fairly simple or very complicated. Let me try the fairly simple approach first. I think leadership means that you have a clear understanding of your role and your position within the marketplace. You are aware of what it is that your offerings differentiate yourselves and how much they interact and how much they relate to what your customers expect from you. But then it gets complicated, gets interesting, because leadership is not simply a path to the future, and it's also not a recipe that you can bake up in your kitchen.
Sure.
Leadership is a result from dedication, finding the right team, finding the right people, especially that work with you, and then making it work in a rapidly changing environment. And I just wanted to emphasize again, it is really about the result, the end result that we're talking here.
Absolutely, it's all about the outcome, and that's the world we live in today.
Yes.
But you know, just talk about the Indian automotive industry for a bit. As you are aware, electrification may significantly impact, you know, component manufacturers and of course the automotive industry at large. How prepared are, you know, automotive stakeholders for this grand disruption that we're possibly going to witness in the near or far future? I don't know. You tell me that. And how do you think the industry can really ride this change and expand into newer areas, so to speak?
Well, the big challenge that we all face is that besides one kind of powertrain, and that was traditionally always the so-called internal combustion engines, now we're faced with the difficulty of coming up with a completely new solution and do it in a customer-relevant way.
Right.
And I think that's what the whole automotive industry is struggling with. Naturally, it's a benefit for new companies that just enter the field and are only focused on the electricity field, that they have a certain advantage, a timely advantage, because they can focus all of their energies on electric vehicles alone. Now, in India, we have seen recently that there was a very courageous statement by the government where we are supposed to basically provide in India 100% electric vehicles by 2030.
I know.
These statements are helpful in a way because they project a certain vision, but on the other hand, we need to reflect how can they be managed on the ground and what does that mean for our daily business? Because most of us in the automotive industry are basically still dealing with this changeover into Bharat Stage 6 vehicles that is supposed to happen in 2020. And that brings up the question, if you have only 10 years to get your return on investment on that, what's going to happen later? But we have also recently received a lot of positive feedback from the government that maybe the 100% can be discussed, yeah?
Wow.
Which is reasonable, actually. And which also follows our path to say, if we want to become as India, as a nation, a leader in this segment, what is really necessary? And there's a host of different issues from our perspective that we need to conquer commonly in India in order to become relevant for maybe also some outside of India markets and to tackle with the specific issues within India. Only if we together can come up with a clear understanding of what is necessary to do that, will we be able now to get back into that leadership again.
Mr. Folger, you have to agree that, you know, this entire transition process with the, you know, electrification being the new norm has given many automakers sleepless nights. How do you look at turning, you and your stakeholders and your entire industry look at, you know, turning this disruption into an opportunity of sorts, if at all?
Well, I think on the one hand, we have a huge challenge, especially here in India, and that is the pollution that we face in our cities. This is something that everybody goes through, where the whole automotive industry is basically looking at their navel meditating, trying to find out what can be the future, what can be future solutions, and who is going to do it first and who is going to do it best.
Sure.
So with that in mind, and we're talking about leadership in that field, everybody is coming up with their specific solution to issues. Some talk about mild hybrids, full hybrids, plug-in hybrids, electric versions of vehicles that hopefully can help us in address these issues. We have been always very trying to be also a thought leader in that process to trigger discussions internally that we need to do before we first make decisions that will affect India as a whole. And amongst them being like, where does electricity come from? How green, how clean is the electricity really at the moment? What are we going to do with recycling? Yeah? Because if we want to paint this whole endeavor green, we really need to be green in the end. And that throws up a lot of questions that we need to ask and that we need to answer before we go in such a direction.
That brings me to the question, Mr. Folga, is how is India placed in terms of, sheer regulations and incentives to foster this so-called green mobility?
Well, if you talk to the government from their perspective, it's very clear. There is a different GST set up for electric vehicles, and from their perspective, it's also enough. Yeah. So I think everybody will, the closer we come to the specific dates, understand that it is ultimately the customer who decides. So if we offer our vehicles at a certain price and cost perspective, then the customer will decide whether he's going to trust these new concepts more than the old concepts. The new concepts being the electric vehicles, vice versa, the ICEs. And that is going to be an interesting discussion that we will see, because there are open issues that we still need to tackle. There's range anxiety. There's the big question is, why do we even develop vehicles, electric vehicles, that are supposed to drive outside the cities?
Sure.
Because there's no charging structure at the moment available. And a study in the US indicated that just to electrify the highways in the US would cost up to 1.3 or 1.7 trillion US dollars. I don't think we can afford that in a country like India. And I don't think, personally, that it would make a whole lot of sense.
Do you think, there is enough being done in terms of ensuring that when electrification does happen, I believe that the cost of any car will go up significantly. For a market like India, do you think consumers who are anyway very price sensitive, this will play a big part?
Of course. And I think that's something we also need to get ready. Because there are high hopes that we can export that technology as well, that India becomes a hub, at least for the Asian region, producing and also exporting electric vehicles. That remains to be seen, because a lot of things need to happen before that export or other issues can happen. And again, the disruption is going to be for us, how can we make all of these things work together with investments that we have done into facilities, with the impact that electric vehicles also will have on customer preferences, and for instance, their after-sales service that they require from our dealer network that we have built up. All of these things together will be and need to be evaluated. That's why we're eagerly waiting and looking forward to see the plan from the Niti Aayog that will go to the Parliament to be ratified there. And that will give us at least a goalpost to start developing our vehicles to fit the demand that might be seen as a first wave in India.
Well, Mr. Folga, I think you'll agree with me when I say that we're definitely headed for very interesting times.
Yes, definitely, without any doubt.
Next week on Leaders in Conversation, presented by Mercedes-Benz India, we speak to industry leaders to understand how leadership is evolving in the age of disruption.
How do you look at leadership today? Do you think the leadership of today versus the leadership of yesterday needs to be different?
The mistake we make is that we hire people for their skills and try to train them in attitudes, when we should hire people for attitude and train them in skills.
I believe that the tenets of leadership have not changed. The context of leadership has changed.
The pace of change is so fast. We are leading change now, and we are obliged to it. We have to do it under quite, let's say, challenging circumstances.
What I personally found out is how important it is to have not people that mirror your own image, that you should not have people that are as much as possible like you, but that you have a variety of different people that bring completely different experiences, backgrounds, personalities on board. Because the mix of a team, for me, is the best way to continuously challenge yourself and basically also review things from a multitude of different perspectives.